you should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we're going to get down to the other stuff here in a second. But what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So, before we do anything else, just vibe. Yeah. Watkins Cat House, what's up with it? As a matter of fact, you have to give me a second. I'm gonna have to change the audio to this real quick.
Can y'all still hear me clearly? Let me know if you can hear me. If this audio is good. Alright, bet. What's up, Vanessa? How you doing? We're gonna take just a few minutes to let a few more people trickle in, and then we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty. Now today, I'm gonna touch on the transits and elaborate on the aspects that might be affecting you. But then after that, we're gonna get into the priceless top 5 best house placements for the sun in astrology. So I hope you're ready. Hold on. Much better. I'm blessed, way too blessed to ever be stressed about some bullshit. You feel me? Just vibe. Hey, y'all might see my lady and my kids going in and out behind me because I'm going live right here instead of back in the room. So just bear with me. They're doing laundry. Yeah, just fine. How's everybody else doing this afternoon or this evening or tonight, depending on where you are in the world? It's 2:40 in Narnia. Do you know what your vibe is? I like that shit. Shout out to everybody in Canada. Shout out to Virginia. I have a different setup today, so the lighting might not be as good as normally, but we'll make it. Yeah, I like this shit because we can vibe, or we can get into some real gangster shit. And I don't think you want that. Not with me. Yeah. Fine. Make sure y'all hit the like button as you come in the door. And in doing so, understand this is not about ego. This is about algorithm. This just helps us expand the platform. That way, if you're not trying to hear what I'm trying to say, at least we can get out to the next motherfucker who is. Yeah. Y'all should have caught me up on the late night hype last night. We was chilling. It was a pretty good session. Peaceful aura. What's crack? Well, I like this vibe right here too. Yeah, that's some Texas shit. This thing is keeps fucking up. Right. We sleep when we can, but sometimes I can't. Hold up. Yeah, we be up. I'm gonna do that a little bit more often. At least once or twice a week, I'm gonna come on a late night hype. Give y'all a little something you can feel. Kyle Shabazz was there too. You see how this looks. So let's go here right now. Yeah. I will. I didn't last night. It was just straight YouTube. I don't like that. Yeah, next time I'll share it on Facebook. It was more spur of the moments, and I was just in the vibe, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go live on up. Let's go ahead and do some streaming while other people are dreaming. I was falling asleep the whole time. I was trying to play it off, but I fell asleep several times during that session. It was just those doze off seconds, but I definitely was passing out. I tried to play it off. I was out of there. I like this vibe though. We're gonna take just a few more minutes and then we're gonna get down to it. I ain't got much time to waste today. Beats by PlAcEmEnTs music. Let's zone now. Y'all gotta excuse me, I'm feeling myself. We gotta touch on the transits that are happening today, and then we have to speak on the new moon that's coming up on Sunday morning. I mean Monday morning, but late Sunday night. So yeah, we definitely gonna discuss it. Hey, it's the Astro Girl Quay. Tiger Lily. What's up, baby? Just a second, somebody hating on me in my inbox. It's laundry day. What's up, Alana? Leave me. I'm all right. Just a second. Just a second. Just a second. Just a second. Let me see this text. Yeah. Anyway, damn, I'm so sorry to hear that, Alana. I know that's hard. I lost my mama when I was 13 years old. And on the 24th of this month, it'll be 25 years since my mom died. And when my birthday came this year, it was kind of a cold realization that I actually lived longer than my mom did. And she was such a better person than me. She deserved to be here. And illnesses, they're they're hard. But your mom might have transitioned, she's not gone. And I know that's cliche, but that's the truth. It took me years and years and years to realize it, but they're still around. And it's not just in you, and I'm not speaking figuratively or even just spiritually. I'm talking literally. But grief can blind us sometimes, or it can hinder us from feeling those things that are just beyond rational explanation. She's not with you always, but she's with you. I don't want to get that twisted. It's not like uh, people think, but yeah, for those of us that are gifted, um, you you eventually, as you get through the grief, and you're able to put that grief to the side, you can actually see the presence, and the signs that they have been given to you. Alana Levy, I have a wife. I don't just have a girlfriend. I have a wife, right? So yeah, sci-fi fantasy girl. I answered your email inquiry, so you should check your emails and answer me back on that email because I know you sent an inquiry a long time ago. Somehow it got sent to my spam folder and I missed it. But I actually answered it for you, and none would be a better time than now to get access to those services. Let me turn this down because it's about time to get into what's going on cosmically. I understand. Life does what life does. And somehow that got sent to my spam folder. And I check my spam folder regularly, but I actually went through some stuff where I just neglected it all the way around. And so I looked in there and was like, dang. And I don't know why it got sent there because it was a business inquiry. But I definitely did answer it for you. And I definitely do have some specials going on. So this is actually one of the best times to get at me for something like that. So are you ready? Are y'all ready to get into what's going on cosmically? Because I think it's that time. I'm actually not very tired. That's I take I take that kind of insulting because I feel vibrant. So I don't know if you're talking about my eyes. That's just how my eyes are, and I smoke a lot of cannabis. So I'm not tired. I'm high. Damn, y'all look tired in a bit. Maybe I need to take my hat off. Sorry. Now, that hat makes a difference, right? Let's leave the hat off. The hat casts a shadow because I usually have like a setup with 4 lights or 3 lights, and I only have 1 light right now. She's not very sociable. She's doing laundry right now. She's in go mode. I'm not gonna distract her. Okay, Alana Lavigny. Yeah, I'm not finna get cussed out. That's easy to do. She would cuss me the fuck out real fucking fast. Let's get to some beats by Let's Zone Out music. Let's zone out. Now, let's get into what we're talking about cosmically. And so, first of all, the sun is at 10 degrees of Leo. And so, this is what I would call confidence and creativity. It's playfulness, it's fun, but things can get exaggerated. And when things get exaggerated, things can get extra. And there can be some drama. There can be some things that get blown out of proportion. There can also be some very passionate reactions to things because pride is involved. And so it's very hard to be confident and prideful without being egotistical. But that's the fine line that you have to walk with this right here. That's key. Now, the sun is sextile to Mars. So this is a very creative energy. It is very vibrant, but in its own way, it can be sloppy. See, confidence can make you sloppy and you can miss out on some key details. Or you can think that you have something figured out and it ends up being something that's more of a problem than you anticipated. So you do have to figure a way that you can navigate this while being confident and expressive, but also not getting too egotistical or extra, or not getting caught up in any drama, or not moving sloppily. All right. If it was a trine, it would be natural, but this is a sextile, so it's an energy that can definitely be positive if you work with it. It does take a little synthesis though. But overall, it's communicative, it's fun, it's expressive, it's sociable. And so this is great. And this could also give you the courage to have some conversations that are necessary right now. The confidence of the sun is shining light on things that might need to be discussed. And I've seen that play out in my own personal life several times over the last few weeks. So yeah, that's definitely something that could help a lot of us. Now, for right now, the moon is at 22 degrees of Cancer. So there's some feelings that are going on right now more than anything else. Feelings. People are feeling feelings. And people might be feeling nostalgic. And people might just be uh, seeing that they're more sensitive to things than they would like to be. You might shed a tear or two. You also might have a sense of wanting to be around or wanting to address family issues. See, that's the thing with this. And see, the moon is square to Chiron. And I've actually seen that play out in some personal lives of some people that I know. Uh, a friend of mine lost somebody that was abusive to him in his family. And as soon as it went down, I happened to be looking at the transits and I was like, oh, that's that Cancer moon coming into that square with Chiron. And so there's some feelings of anger that he has to address within himself and that he has to really allow himself to express in order for him to move forward healthily. Because that would go a long way in helping him grow and helping him move past those situations. And so this coming around at this point in time, it actually is an opportunity for growth, as painful as this experience can be. And with those memories that are coming up, it gives you a chance to confront those and to figure out where those feelings that you have came from. And in order to do that, you have to use this awareness that Chiron is allowing into your life. And then through that awareness and that accountability, you can move forward. And so just give yourself the space you need to express yourself as freely as possible, as unapologetically as can be. You know, you do have to be careful that your feelings don't cause conflicts right now too, because you have a lot of feelings, you have a lot of pride. And so with the sun in Leo and the moon, especially at 22 degrees of Cancer, like you could easily see yourself feeling some type of way. And those emotions can get exaggerated. And then with that coming into a square with Chiron, that could cause a confrontation. But ultimately, it's okay because we have feelings, and it's okay to have feelings. And so you really do need to be able to confront how you feel around things, and in doing so, you can move forward healthily. So as uncomfortable, I said almost said comfortable, but as uncomfortable as it can be for a lot of us, you got to express yourself. See, I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes I can't help how I feel, but there's a lot of stuff that I bury. Being a Pisces moon means that I am sensitive to everything and I do feel everything, but I experience a lot of it inside of me. And so there's so much that's going on inside of me that's hard to get out. Good night, Alana. And so just allow yourself to do this and allow yourself to process this as healthily as possible. Because getting through this helps you build your confidence again for this new moon. And we'll talk about the new moon when we get done with these transits right here. But I do want you to understand that there is a process that lunation process is very prominent for all of us because no matter what you want to look at astrologically, the moon is going to be most important because it sets the tone emotionally. And the moon is also the closest in proximity to us here on Earth. So it has the strongest influence on our moods and personality on a day-to-day basis. You know, just like Earth is 65 to 70% water, you and that body that you are experiencing this plane in is 65 to 70% fluid. So just think about the effect it has on you. Yeah, it is profound. Now, that brings us to Mercury. And Mercury has station. That means it's not going to move probably anymore. It might move maybe a half a degree over the next 3 days. And that's not normal for Mercury. Till on Monday morning, it's going to station retrograde. I really should have put priceless Mercury retrograde on this video. It's going to station retrograde in Virgo. And so what happens with that is little bitty stuff starts to irritate you. Little bitty shit starts to throw you off. You start to pick apart situations, and you also feel like the world is being critical towards you. And so it makes things a little bit more complicated. And then we could also see some issues come around with technology. We could see some bickering within our relationships and our personal interactions with people. You can see yourself having a very picky attitude or a nitpicky attitude. Um, you could definitely see some people that you've been previously involved in your life start to come back into your life. Uh, I don't really like to get caught up in that, but that's something that I've actually experienced myself. And I used to talk so much shit and be like, nah, Mercury retrograde, and that's not, it's not always just about your ex. And it isn't, but that is a definite possibility. And it's not just the people that you've been in relationships with, but people that you used to talk to. And all of a sudden you see old things start to come up. And there might also be some old conversations that start to come up. And there also might be some stuff that you need to redo because you left some key details untaken care of. Or you might see yourself working harder than you need to, especially with Mercury and Virgo here. Now, some astrologers say Mercury is both in domicile and exalted in Virgo. Now, for me personally, I believe Mercury is exalted in Aquarius and it falls in Leo, where it's in domicile in Virgo and Gemini. But either way, Virgo is the most efficient use of Mercury's effects. But the thing is, when it's retrograde, you try too hard, you push too hard, you get caught up in small shit. And so it's real easy for you to make things harder than they have to be, or to work harder than you should, or to even miss the forest because of the trees. So be careful with that. Be very, very careful. I need a few more of y'all to hit the like button if you haven't hit it yet either. Now, with Venus, Venus is at 27 degrees of Leo. So by the time we come back here, Venus will have transitioned into Virgo, and that's a whole energetic shift in its own right. What's up, Isis Snow Show? How you doing? But yeah, for right now, this is the best time for you to pay attention to whatever it is that you care about, whether it be a person or a creative endeavor or your financial situation or your children. Pay attention. You hear me? Pay attention to their needs, pay attention to their expectations and their wants, but also understand that you deserve to be paid attention to also. You deserve to feel special. You deserve to feel applauded and appreciated. And then also think about that reciprocation, where just as much as you deserve it, you need it. Think about the people that you're involved with. If you care about somebody, let them know you care. Don't just tell them, show them. And allow your love nature to bring out the artiste in you. That's what I like to say with Venus and Leo. And be generous, but don't be dumb. All right. And most of all, have fun. Have some fun. Be creative. Be playful. Be affectionate. Be bold. Let your love nature roar. This is Venus and Leo. Now you got to be careful because Venus is square to Uranus or Uranus, depending on how you want to pronounce it. And here's the thing: I just told you to pay attention, make people feel special if you really care about them. When it comes to your relationships, if you're not paying attention, if you're not making people feel special and feel valued, with this being a square between Leo and Taurus, then you could see some issues in your relationship. You could see people acting out of character, or you could even see yourself entertaining some stuff that you normally wouldn't entertain because you just want to feel special again. You want that old thing back. You want somebody to make you feel that sense of butterflies. And so you do got to be careful with that. Now, financially, financially with Venus in Virgo. not Venus in Virgo, with Venus square to Uranus. I got caught up thinking about that. But with Venus square to Uranus, you do have to be careful of overspending and then not having what you need or living beyond your means. That's important. I'm telling you. I don't overspend. Don't live beyond your means. All right. Now, that brings us to Mars. And Mars is at 8 degrees of Gemini. And first of all, with Mars in Gemini, words words have a whole different energetic signature than they have before. Yeah, there's going to be some talking, but you have to be careful because the things you say could cause conflicts. And you yourself are going to be more sensitive to what other people say. And you're going to have a lot of mental energy. And that's fine as long as you can use it. But if it starts to be something that's just running wild in your mind, then it can get to where it could cause some trouble for us. You can see people become mischievous, or if anything else, you can see people have a certain nervousness to them, a certain, hyperness. And so be careful with that. Try your best not to get overstimulated. And that's more about Jupiter, but Mars is now conjunct with Jupiter. They're loosely conjunct, but they're conjunct and they're going to keep coming into this conjunction more and more over the next 10 days or so. And so with that right there is going to be a lot of motherfucking just eclectic energy, electric and effervescent energy. And that's fine if you can be versatile and you can multitask and you can keep that energy into some type of efficient expression. But if you allow it to run out away or run away with you, pardon me, I don't know why I said run out, but to run away with you, it can cause issues. That's when mischief ensues. And so be careful that you don't get overstimulated. Be careful that that talking that you're doing doesn't make you end up biting off more than you can chew. Be careful that you're having conversations that are productive. That's key. I saw the Cash App, Watkins Cat House. It's gonna tell you, I got you. I'll put you on my list, and we'll talk about it on Monday. But it's gonna take me a few days to get together for you. All right. Well, it'll take me like. Do you want Watkins Cat House? Do you want like a phone call Pluto reading where we can talk about it, or do you want a recording? Because if you want a recording, it's just like $11 more. If you want a phone call, it's like $50 more. For you, $50 more. Yeah, 50 more bucks, and it'll take me. Like I said, we won't be able to talk about it in this session on Monday. It'll take me a week or so to put it together. Those Pluto readings take a lot of time, and so I have to look at specific dates. So I have to sit there, and once I get your placements in place and I get everything in order the way that I want it to be in order of the way that those aspects are going to hit you by degree, then after that I have to go and find specific dates and time frames for each one of those aspects. Okay, but I mean I see that right there, so we good. I will definitely work on it. That was very helpful, so I am very grateful for that. Thank you. Thank you. Now, ooh, I like that fire. Let's look at Jupiter. Jupiter is at 14 degrees of Gemini. And here's the thing. There's a lot of curiosity and cleverness with Jupiter and Gemini, but there's also a lot of talking just for the effect. And there's going to be a lot of misinformation, maybe even some lying. People just saying stuff. And it's crazy that we have Jupiter and Gemini right in the midst of this political um, campaigning that's going on in the United States here. And I mean, it's not just the United States, but this is going to affect the whole world. You know, it's going to affect the economy. It's going to affect all types of situations for all types of different people. So this right here is like crazy, super crazy. What's up, Lisa Sims? No, don't make me blush. Do not make me blush. What's up, Miss Colston? How you doing? It's Friday. It's Friday. You know I don't suck. I'm the best. Yeah, I know I'm the best at this. And speaking of astrologers, besides myself, I want to give a shout out to Mercurial Wonder Astrology. That's another astrologer that I collab with every now and then. We're business partners in a way, and she's awesome. She's awesome. She's a Virgo Sun, Scorpio Moon, so she's very precise in the things that she says. She articulates them very well, and yeah, shout out to Mercurial Wonder. Shout out to Queen Machete too, my other business partner. Yeah, that's my sister. What's up, Viola Gorban? But anyway, with Jupiter and Gemini, this energy is going to be abundant, but it's going to be all over the place. And that's cool unless you have something particular that you want to get done, not something that you want to do. See, there's a difference between doing something and getting something done. You hear me? Because what happens is you start doing something and you get into doing something, and then it's like something else comes up and you want to start doing that too, and then something else comes up and you want to start doing that too, and something else comes up and you start doing that too. And so you end up getting a lot of different hands and a lot of different stuff, or a lot of different irons in the fire. But as I've said over and over and over again, when you get too many irons in the fire, you run out of fire. And so with this, there's a reason that Jupiter is in detriment in Gemini, because this energy gets scattered very easily. Jupiter doesn't know boundaries, it's expansive. And so this stuff just expands and gets more and more and more and more and more. And then there's nothing that really gets the full blessing that it could have gotten. Sure, there's an emphasis on mental stimulation and all types of learning practices, all types of writing and creativity and all of that stuff. That shit's cool. But there's still gonna be some stuff that goes on in here that, it seems like it's just too much. It's too much. And it also can get sloppy. And you have to be weary that you're not just skimming. And make sure you're getting closure on one subject or one project before you go on to the next one. All right. But more than anything else, you're gonna see a lot of talking. A lot of fucking talking. And some of it is gonna be great for entertainment, but you have to take it with a grain of salt. Listen to me. You have to take it with a grain of salt. There's going to be a lot of shit talking, especially for those of us here in the United States of America, as we see this political stuff going on. There's going to be all kinds of promises and all types of ways that people are going to talk about other people and things that they're going to say in order to get people interested in what they have going on. But follow through, that's the problem. There's not a lot of follow through. That bitch is jamming right there. So yeah, we getting that thing. It's my favorite beats. That bitch jamming. You need faith. Yeah. Now back to it. Now, Jupiter is going to be square to Saturn for a long. As a matter of fact, it's not quite there yet, but Jupiter is coming into this square with Saturn, and it's actually going to sit there for like 8 months, or it's going to sit around there for like 8 months, all the way till we get to the end of this. And so this is where they're going to start doing some things here. They're going to dance around. As a matter of fact, Jupiter's going to come into square with Saturn like 3 times exactly. And so we're approaching one of those squares here soon. But right now, this is just an applying square. And so with Jupiter square to Saturn, oh, the bullshit. This is the bullshit. You start to see where your worries or your thoughts get the best of you. This is where you start to let the little stuff that's going on and the things that are being said kind of get you separated from what your truth is and what you need to do and how you can process things. I seen a friend of mine who was talking about something that happened to them earlier today. And people were trying to support him, but they were saying things that, in my opinion, weren't going to be helpful. It was like they were projecting. It was like, oh, this, and this, and this. And they were like, well, fuck it. Fuck it. And it also takes away from that person how they were feeling. Nobody was letting them talk because they were projecting stuff onto them. And so that's not going to help in processing something healthily for you. There's going to be a lot of words that are said right now. There's going to be a lot of things going on up here that can kind of get you confused with what you have to do moving forward and how you can best process the things that are happening in your life. And so with Saturn, with Jupiter coming into this square with Saturn, it's hard to see the blessings that come from this because you have expectations and you start to think too much or you expect too much. And so this right here is just where it takes time. But as I was saying the day before yesterday and last night, just because something is delayed doesn't mean it's denied. Remember that. Just because something is delayed does not mean it's denied. And so be patient with yourself right now. Be as patient with yourself as possible, because there is a blessing that comes from this. It might be hard to see, but that's because you need to temper your expectations. Now, as far as globally, this is right here where people are saying stuff, and this is projection, and some of it is causing confusion, and some of it is intentionally misleading. And so it's going to take some time to sort that out. It's going to take a little bit of time. But be patient with yourself. Just because it's delayed doesn't mean it's denied. Remember that. Now, I definitely understand that peaceful aura. Venus square Saturn does delay things for you, but it makes it worth it when you do get it. Please understand that. It makes it worth it when it comes. It makes you value it more. It means more to you. Now, next is Saturn. And Saturn is retrograde at 18 degrees of Pisces. And Saturn is going to be retrograde until November 15th. And with Saturn retrograde in Pisces, what this is ultimately doing is putting things into perspective for you. It allows you to see what's going on. It allows you to figure out what the problem is. But you still have to address it. Understand that. So that's why it's going to come back over when it's direct. I explain this over and over, but Saturn's retrograde is a very unique process because it comes all the way over these degrees and then it retrogrades back on a specific set degree. So it goes from 19 to 12 in this instance. And so for whatever you have influence between this right here or aspected by this right here, it's giving you a chance to feel it and to uh, just gain perspective on what it is and how you can best address it. But just because you know how to address it and you know what the problem is doesn't mean you're going to address it. And that's the problem with Pisces energy, because a lot of the times that just makes you even more scared, and it makes you, well, okay, I know what it is, so it's just something that you can ignore again. But no, it's going to come back over when the station's direct. And so here in just uh, 4 months, 5 months, no, yeah, 4 months, 3.5, 4 months, when Saturn station is direct again, we're going to go back over these same degrees. And so once again, the same issue is going to come up again. Whatever this is doing to you, because a lot of us astrologers project what this means, and then people have expectations. Well, this is Pisces. It means there's a lot of different stuff that could happen, just about anything. And it's not about what's happening, it's about how you deal with what's happening. And so whatever is going on, this is going to gain you perspective of how you deal with things and why you need to deal with it. But ultimately, you still have to deal with it. And it's real easy to be compassionate for other people because you see a lot of people are going through it in the world. But also be compassionate and patient with yourself. That'll be incredibly helpful. Now, let's talk about Uranus. Because Uranus is sitting at 26 degrees of Taurus. And it's going to get to 27 degrees on September 1st, and then it's going to station retrograde. So on the same day that Pluto dips back into Capricorn, Uranus is going to station retrograde. And I think that's going to be really, really crazy for the economy. There's going to be something that goes on, or there's some stuff where uh, we just start to see that this shit is even more unstable, and that causes even more frustration for people for whatever happens. And people are already frustrated. It's hard to get comfortable in these times because the economy is so unstable, and it's not just for the United States. It's for that. It's like that, part of me, in the whole world. Like, the economy is crazy. Trade embargoes and stuff that used to be really helpful in getting things shipped and or imported and exported is a better way to put that. Those are muddled up. A lot of people have tension, and a lot of countries have tension between them. The way that business works as a whole has changed drastically. And so you have to learn how to be adaptable, and you have to figure out a way that you can address that for you individually and uniquely. And there's a multitude of ways that you can do it. Because as we've spoken on before, there's so many ways that you can make money now. Yes, the economy is crazy. Yes, inflation is higher than ever. And it's probably going to get even higher. But you also have all types of opportunities to make more money. What you got to do is get out of that stuck and stubborn mindset. If you're willing to really look at things differently and take a different approach, you have an opportunity to make money. But that means you probably have to get out of your comfort zone, or you might even have to reassess your values and your morals and really think what you're willing to do to make money, because you can make money. But so many people say, well, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do this. Or they see this is what's worked in the past. Well, the thing is, this isn't the past. These are unprecedented times. And so with this right here, you're going to have to reassess your values and ask yourself what you're really willing to do to make money. Because if you're willing to put your pride to the side, if you're willing to step out of your comfort zone, there is a bag to be had. All right. And also, as Uranus stations retrograde, we're going to have to look at our values and see how much our values have changed from the inside out. But we're not retrograde yet. We're just in that pre-retrograde shadow phase. All right. So do what you got to do for you. Now, Neptune. Neptune is at 29 degrees of Pisces, retrograde until December 7th. And so for a lot of people, they're seeing things differently than they saw things just a few weeks ago. For whatever reason, they're seeing things differently. And there's going to be some instances where you feel like the rose-colored glasses have come off. You're seeing things for what they really are. But just because you're seeing things differently doesn't mean what you're seeing is how you're perceiving it. And only you can figure that situation out for yourself. We have so many things that are projected onto us. We have so many expectations of how we're supposed to react to situations because of the culture. And so you have to really take a step back and look at things. And there's going to be a lot of bullshit that's projected. For instance, we can look at the Olympics. And just the last couple of days, there's been a big fuss over this Algerian boxer who is boxing for females. And she was fighting, I don't know if she's from France. I think she's from France, but she was fighting uh, another fighter, and she hit her 2 times. And the fighter said, "This is unfair," and quit. Now, this boxer that won the fight looks very masculine. She's bigger than the other girl. And so there was a rumor that got started saying that she was actually a trans, or even intersex, like Brittany Griner is. And we'll talk about that here in a second. But either intersex or trans. And that's actually not true. But this is all over the internet. It's viral. The truth of the matter is that is a natural born female, born with female anatomy. Plain and simple. That's the truth. And it's not some man that's dominating boxing for women, because that is actually a professional boxer who has fought 14 times with 9 wins and 5 losses. So there have been 5 women who went in there and whooped said individual. That's the truth. And because of whatever this rumor is and how it got started, now everybody's saying that this is a man. And I mean, it's just not. They're saying that that she failed her gender test for the Olympic Committee. If that was the case, she would not be allowed to compete against females. There is a strict testing process in the Olympics, whether it be for performance enhancing drugs or to make sure that there is fair play happening and that everything is being sportsmanlike. And so she did not fail a gender test. She was just strong and she has a lot of testosterone. Have you ever seen female bodybuilders? Some of them are huge and their voices are deep. And they even have seen the structure of their bones change to where their jawline is just a little more strong. And it's because they're taking testosterone. And so it is definitely within the realm of possibility that this fighter has taken testosterone before and that has changed the way that her hormones works. That's a possibility, but that is still a woman who has taken losses by women. And this fighter went in there and got hit twice and made excuses and attacked this person. When the fact of the matter is, you just couldn't fade her power. You also look at the Olympic ceremonies and how so many people have said, "Oh, they're mocking Christianity. Not only do they have gay and trans people up there, but they are mocking the Last Supper." Well, the truth is, the Last Supper is a painting that was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. Do you hear me? Over 1,500 years after Jesus Christ walked this earth. And so this was an artistic depiction of an artistic depiction, if that's what you think it is, but that's not what it was. It was actually a portrayal of the feast of Dionysus. And so what you saw was something that was true to the Greek roots of the Olympic Games. And the beheading was that of Marie Antoinette. But people got caught up in it. They started spreading and saying, "Oh, the Olympics are out of line. They got this." And first of all, only here in America are we so restrictive and prejudiced towards people who have alternative lifestyles. It's supposed to be the land of the free, but people's opinions try to put you in a box. That's the truth. And first of all, I'm gonna put you up on more game. The Last Supper painting by Leonardo da Vinci is actually a Christian mockery of the Feast of Dionysus. The Last Supper is actually a Christian portrayal of the Feast of Dionysus. He painted it in such a way that it looks like the Feast of Dionysus that had actually been portrayed before. That's the truth. So it's not one mocking the other. It's actually the other way around. And Leonardo da Vinci himself was a gay man way back all those years ago. And so all of this narrative that's been created is hogwash. And there's also the fundamental fact that Jesus Christ himself was not a Christian and never declared himself to be worshiped, because that would be placing himself above God, and nothing is above the Father. And so people take stuff and just misconstrue it and create stupid ass narratives without doing research and without determining things for themselves. They get caught up in projections. And so what you have to do is separate what the culture tries to create. You can't get tricked by those trends. What you have to do is feel out things for yourself and learn things for yourself, and then let your own inner compass determine how you move with that information that you've obtained. And so that's what you have to do. You might not can trust what's being said by other people. You might not can trust what the news even says, because that's bullshit, especially here in America. You can watch the news and you can see how biased they are and what type of agenda they have by what they show. You're never going to get an objective perspective. What's up, Danny Pathay, bro? But yeah, you're never going to get an objective perspective. If you watch CNN, CNN is going to be incredibly leftist. And so they're going to paint things a certain way so that a certain narrative is created. If you watch Fox News, they're incredibly to the right. And so they're going to spew lies, and they're going to create a narrative, and they're going to have rhetoric going on that is going to be really exploitive of their agenda. You hear me? And so many people, they listened to what was said by everybody else, and they made a determination instead of taking a step back and getting the information they needed and figuring it out for themselves. That's what you got to do. And you have the opportunity to do so. All right? Because there's a lot of bullshit out there. A lot. Too much. Now, that brings us to Pluto. And Pluto is retrograde in Aquarius at 0 degrees. And Pluto's going to be retrograde until October 13th. Now, this is political. It's technological, it's political, but it's us as the people taking our power back. And that's going to seem destructive at first. It's going to seem like, people are moving radically. But we're taking our power back from the powers that be. The way that the system worked before is it can't work like that anymore. But as Pluto dips back into Capricorn, there's going to be some frustration with the way things are. This is the last dip into Capricorn that we get for the next 250 years. So this is where some discontent sits in. This is where the economy is so fucked up and things are so frustrating that it's like, man, we have to have something different happen. Whatever that is, something different has to come from this. And so that right there is the mindset that breeds change, because this is retrograde. So this is something that is going to start with your mindset. It starts inside of you, and that creates this change externally. Whereas things happen, if it's direct, things happening in the world kind of make you change. You hear me? Now, Chiron is at 23 degrees of Aries. As a matter of fact, before I can do that, I want y'all to understand Neptune is sextile to Pluto too. And Neptune sextile to Pluto means it's real easy to get confused because of the projections and because of all of the different things being said. There's a process of change that's being implemented right now. But you have to be careful because of this retrograde energy that you're not allowing your purpose to get confused and your opinion to be uh, swayed by projection. And you also have to temper your expectations and understand that whatever happens from this is going to be something completely unexpected. And so be careful because there is a process of betterment that's being implemented, but this process is not going to be easy. And it's going to have to start with you as a person. You're doing something different. So yeah, there's that. Now, the Black Moon Lilith is at 3 degrees of Libra, and the South Node is conjunct the Black Moon Lilith. And so there is some codependency right now that's going to really get in the way of our growth. There's also going to be some people who are way too easily influenced and way too over conciliatory and way too worried about what's going on with everybody else. And so them being so caught up in the next person can kind of keep them from doing what they need to do for them and growing authentically and organically in their own right. And so that just kind of puts things into the realm where you have to figure out what's right for you and how you can move forward healthily in your own way. And you got to stop sugarcoating shit. You got to stop worrying about other people's reaction to what you have going on because that's not going to do anything but hinder you. And so ultimately, just do what you can that you can move forward with your life unapologetically. So separate yourself from other people's opinions. This is about you. You can only experience the world through your own eyes. As much as you want to live for other people, the truth is you can only experience the world through your eyes. And so you're responsible for you. And if we all just learn how to be responsible for ourselves and work on our own growth, the world would be a better place for everybody collectively. But everybody's too worried about other people and their influence on other people and everything that's going on with everybody else. No, man. Do your thing for you. Please. Please. Now, the numerology of the day means we're in a 9 vibration. And there's a 2 connotation to it because it is the second. So it's August 2nd, 2024. And so August is an 8, you take that 8, you drop it down. The second is a 2, you take that 2, you drop it down. 2024 is an 8. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 4 is an 8. And so when you have that, and you have 8 plus 2, which is 10, plus 8 is 18. 1 plus 8 is a 9. So we are definitely in that 9 vibration as a whole today, but there is a 2 to it. And so this is interesting because today it's a day to help people, to love unconditionally, to forgive even. And sometimes you're not forgiving people for them, you're forgiving people for yourself. How do you move forward? Well, by forgiving. And be an inspiration today. You don't have to directly do anything with your hands for other people, but be an inspiration. Be real, be authentic, be full of love, be humble, and set an example for other people. That makes the world a better place too. And as far as the 2 to this, be considerate of other people's feelings. What's up, Shem? Be considerate of other people's feelings, and that'll be crucial for you. Very crucial. Now, when it comes to the new moon that's coming up here on Sunday night, Monday morning, let me tell you, this is the best new moon of the whole fucking year. This one right here is very positive, and we need this. I need it. This new moon happens to be conjunct my Venus, and Venus is my chart ruler. This new moon will have the sun and the moon both at 12 degrees of Leo. And oh man, that's beautiful. Because it's going to be sextile to both Mars and Jupiter. And so this is going to be very fun. It's very sociable. It's very vibrant. And it's kind of like a confidence booster. That's what you have to use this as, this new moon right here. Let it be a confidence booster. And with it affecting Mars and Jupiter and Gemini, this could play out in a multitude of ways for you. All right. Whether it gives you the confidence to speak on things that you normally would speak on, whether it be the confidence that you need to move past a situation or to confront a situation. This is just beautiful. It's a boost of confidence. And I don't even have to elaborate any further. This new moon that's coming up is a boost of confidence. You hear me? And we need it. We need it, but it can get extra. This is that sextile. This is Leo and Gemini. It can get extra. All right. But you just got to enjoy the process of it all. Enjoy the process and get creative with your solutions. I like this because Mars and Jupiter are going to be on my Chiron. So this is healing for me. This is healing conversations. And I've seen this play out the last few days for me, actually, in my personal life. Hold up. But yeah, thank you for the donation, Sharon Little. Um, I've had some egotistical expressions that have gotten in the way of certain situations the last couple of days. And at the same time, those egotistical situations have created conversations that have allowed me to move forward and help me get a better understanding of the dynamics of my relationships with people that I interact with. And so it's been helpful. It might not have been comfortable, but it's been careful. Hold up. Got some shit going on. Somebody trying to hustle me. Hold on, anyway, um, yeah, let this new moon be a confidence booster. I need this for my career. This is happening in my 10th house, so I need it for my career. I need it for business. You know, whether it makes me more visible, whether it makes me more popular, whether helps me do something that's going to let me get further into my hustle, whatever it is, I need it. I need it. So yeah, let me see how much. Let me see. Hold You're on that Ashwanga route. That Ashwagandha. That shit's like a tongue tire in itself. But yeah, Ashwagandha route. Yeah. I'm not tired. For you look tired. I'm not tired. I'm good. I didn't get as much sleep as I wanted, but I'm not tired. So it is what it is. You know, I'm sensitive. I don't like motherfuckers saying I look one type of way or the other. I'm just handsome. I don't know what you mean. That's what I do, Sharon. Anyway, I'm kind of torn right now because I have my sister's baby's father who I've known since middle school, but we've only had maybe 5 conversations in our whole life asking me to borrow money. And I like to help people. But if we've never conversated or even had any type of interaction, why would you ask me for money? And so I want to help people. I really do. But I also am very reticent into just giving my money to somebody who I don't even interact with. And I see that 9. I see that we're in that 9 vibration today. And it makes me feel like, I need to give back. I need to help. I need to do whatever I can to help. But I'm not the type of person that believes my blessings are going to come if I give away my money foolishly. But I also know that I've needed help before. So it's hard. We'll see what happens. Because I have things I have to take care of. I have children that I need to take care of. Yes, 9s are also endings. So yeah. She's kind of frustrating. I don't mind helping people, but it's like, don't play me for a sucker, man. We'll see what happens. It's just like, I don't know. I want to help. Yeah, I want to help, but I don't know. I don't know. I also know Mars and Jupiter and Gemini, and so motherfuckers could be scamming, or they could be just, and it just comes back to, if it was somebody that I interacted with, I wouldn't mind. It would be done immediately. But he and I don't interact with each other. And so when you were needing money, what made me pop into your head? Because you haven't asked me how I'm doing. You haven't checked on me. You haven't spoken to me in a year. And when I did, I had to search you out and find out where you were, so that I could uh, talk to you about your son. And then before that, even though we grew up with each other since middle school and we came from the same hood or whatever, we didn't interact with each other like that. That was just my little sister's baby's daddy. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. He is being used as a tool for me. Choose wisely. You're gonna have to elaborate on that. What do you mean by that? A tool for me for who? My sister isn't with him anymore. She doesn't talk to him. They don't have any type of romantic connection at all. And my sister doesn't even. I mean, like, they don't even talk to each other. But I also want to do the right thing. And with that nine, the nine makes me feel like I should give and not expect anything in return. Because when you have that nine, it's like you're supposed to give as much as you can and help as much as you can. You're going to be receiving a lot, but it's because you're expected to give a lot. No, he doesn't care for the kids. No, absolutely not. I don't know what the fuck to think. He doesn't know. He doesn't. He has minimal contact with my nephew. So yeah, look at that gray hair. Ah, that gray hair. Look at that gray hair. Look at that gray hair. It's white. It ain't even gray. It's white. Motherfucker's long too. I just lost a little bit there. Now, just chill, just chill, just chill. Now let's get into the price list. Top 5 best house placements for the sun in astrology. Now, before I get into this, I want to really explain to you that the house placement that the sun is in is paramount. See, that tells you what you're about in life. The house placement of the sun is almost more important than the sign placement, because that house placement of the sun tells you what people's major focal point is in their life. For instance, my sun is in the ninth house. Look what I do here. I'm a spiritual person. I'm intuitive and wise. So that's definitely something that comes into that. I actually do live far away from my home. And so that does make sense. Now, Just because your house placement isn't on this list doesn't mean it's bad for you. The sign matters, and how you deal with things matters too. And so, without further ado, let's get into it. Lisa Sims, you got to catch me another day. I'm not answering questions today. We have set times for that. But yeah, you got to catch me another day. I have an agenda. I have stuff I got to do today. So you got to bear with me. If when I get done, if you still have your question, you can answer it again. But right now, I got to get this done. All right. No, I'm not doing the sun through the house. I'm doing the price list top five. We're doing this top five Friday. We're doing the price list top five best house placements for the sun in astrology. Now, I do want to implore that the sign does matter. The sign definitely does matter. All right. And so, before we get into the actual top five, we do have one honorable mention. And the only honorable mention on our list of the price list top five most difficult house placements for the sun. Sun in the 10th house. What's up, Ember? How you doing? And look, for the people who have their sun in the 10th house, it's really helpful because it makes them achievement oriented. And these are people who are about something in life. And they get a lot of recognition. But the truth is, this is only an honorable mention because that shit doesn't come easy. It just doesn't come easy. And there's a lot of times where they sacrifice family stuff and they sacrifice friendships and they sacrifice other realms of their existence in order for them to be successful. There's a certain amount of ambition that comes with that. There's this fundamental demand for respect. And so these are people who feel like they have something that they need to accomplish, but that can make things harder on them because things are just a little bit more serious for them. And it's like with the sun in the 10th house, there's probably a lot of people that know him, but there's probably not very few many people who are close to him. It's the same with the moon in the 10th house, but this is a little different because they kind of keep everything at arm's distance if it's not useful. And they can also use people and situations as stepping stones. It makes me think about Eminem and his song. He has a song called Stepping Stone. And in the song, he's actually apologizing to D12 because D12 is his family, it's where he comes from, but for him, that was a stepping stone in his life. And so he'll always have love for him. He'll always, but at the same time, he elevated to something beyond that. And his destiny was something bigger than that. While for them, that was what their destiny was. They're D12, and they're famous for that. He helped them in their own right too. But for him, D12 was a stepping stone for him to be able to get to the place that he needed to be, and to get the recognition that he needed, and to get the status that was required of him as far as fulfilling his soul's purpose. And so you do have to be careful with the sun in the 10th house because they're just the type of people who are willing to sacrifice certain personal relationships and certain aspects of their well-being even in order to accomplish something great. And it's only the honorable mention because it can be hard. It can be incredibly hard and frustrating. And so That's a motherfucker in its own right. And that's why the sun of the 10th house is our only honorable mention on the list of the PrIcElEs. Top 5 best house placements for the sun in astrology. Now, let's get into number 5. Number 5 in the top 5 best house placements for the sun in astrology. This is people who have the sun in the 3rd house. Because more than anything else, the people who have their sun in their 3rd house just get it. They pick up on things very easily. And they're clever. And because they pick up on things so easily, they got off to a really fast start in life. And these are the type of people who see competency as a matter of existence. You hear me? And they expect to be naturally good at stuff. And people like them. And they communicate well. And they probably had a decent relationship with their brothers and sisters. They probably had a decent time, unless it's afflicted, in school. Not college, but everything that's grade school. So from pre-kindergarten all the way up through high school, they had this right here. And they're charming people. And more than anything else, it's just like they get it. I mean, it's really simple, but they get it, man. And they're intelligent, they're clever, they're communicative, um, they're brave. That's something else. And they're competent in a multitude of ways. And they've probably been like that for as long as they've been around. Ever since they were little kids, they've been very intelligent. They've been very quick to pick up on things. Sometimes they can pick up on things that they weren't even taught. They just pick up on it because of how they get it from synthesis through the environment. And so it's a great placement. Without getting too complicated with it, it's a great placement. And that's why it's number 5 on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun. Because they just get it. They're clever. They got off to a fast start in life. They see competency as a matter of existence. And a lot of them are naturally good at certain stuff. Those neurons fire very efficiently for them. And they always have. And they might have been like the favorite among their brothers and sisters, or they could have been the favorite out of their brothers and sisters, whether it be in the parental figure's eyes or amongst their brothers and sisters. And it means that they naturally had a decent experience with them. And then they speak really well. And a lot of them have an excellent sense of humor. And that goes a long way. So, yeah, all of that is why the sun in the 3rd house is number 5 on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun in astrology. Now, number 4. Number 4 is probably going to get some pushback, but this is what I've seen and experienced. Number 4 in the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun in astrology. This is people who have the sun in the second house. Yeah, this is you, Lisa Sims. See, the moon is exalted in the second house, so that's why that really helps. But with the sun in the second house, this is self-esteem. More than anything else, it's self-worth and self-esteem. And that comes through a solid pattern of habits. This is values and value. It's principles, morals. And more than anything else, these are people who are trying to accumulate as much as possible without sacrificing their baseline of security. Yeah. And they're go-getters. Yeah. They're go-getters. Now, they can be greedy, but that's all right. In order to be greedy, you got to get greedy. And they're the type of people who can. And never forget that the second house also rules over the throat. And so this also influences the way that people speak. The third house is how they think and all that, but the second house is influential on the way that people speak, and that's not something that a lot of astrologers touch on. And so a lot of them are well spoken with their sun in the second house. A lot of them understand that being well spoken doesn't mean saying a lot. That's the difference between the sun in the third house and the sun in the second house. It's the value of what's being said, not the volume of what's being spewed. I need a few more of y'all to hit that like button for me though before I get mad and go home. But yeah, the sun in the second house is good. It just gives you a certain self-confidence that really is helpful in your life. And it helps you develop a solid pattern of habits that keep you on a productive flow. And they really understand the value of things. That's another thing. Like they can look at something and tell what it's worth. They understand the value of things. And with them having such an inherent understanding of the value of things, they never sell themselves short. When you have a fundamental understanding of what you're worth, you don't settle for less. When you are able to have a fundamental understanding of what other things cost and what they should cost and what they worth besides the cost, it keeps you from making foolish decisions, and it keeps a certain conservativeness in you that is really, really helpful in you living a safe and full life, because they're going to accumulate, they're going to win, but they're not going to ever sacrifice their baseline of security. But I just feel like the confidence that comes from that, and the sign is going to influence this, but the confidence that comes from having that sun in the second house is really fucking helpful. It can push them to do things that other people aren't willing to do because they have that confidence inside of themselves that, hey, I know what I can do. But it also keeps them from making foolish decisions where it's like, you know what, this isn't worth the sacrifice. This isn't worth the effort. This isn't worth my time, and it isn't worth my energy. And so they're able to gauge their energy and their effort extremely well. So they always have enough of what they need. Now, the sign, like I said, is going to temper this in a way, but this is really awesome for these people. And the confidence that comes with this is everything. The self-esteem that they have is everything. And that's why the sun in the second house is number 4 on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun. But yeah. Now, number 3. Number 3 in the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun is my own This is the sun in the ninth house. And man, with the sun in the ninth house, this is intuition and wisdom. This is spirituality and positivity. This is the realization that everything in life is a learning experience. With Jupiter's influence, there is a little bit of luck involved with this placement. Now, that doesn't mean that everything good is going to happen to you and that you're only going to see the easiest route. That's not what happens. It means that you probably don't see the worst of everything. And that doesn't mean it isn't bad. It just means it could have been worse. It could have been worse. And the fact that you look at things and as life as a whole, as learning experiences, whether it be relationships or situations that you get yourself into, that really helps you get perspective on them. And it helps you see the big picture. And it helps you understand the truth. See, if there's knowledge with the sun in the third house, there's wisdom and understanding that comes with the sun in the ninth house. There's intuition, there's wisdom, there's understanding. See, ever since I was little, I've just known stuff. I've just known certain things. And I'm really good at certain stuff without having to study because it's something that's in me and not on me. In school, I tested extremely well because I understood how things work. It doesn't mean that I knew something as far as the fundamental facts of that, but I knew how to take care of it because I understand how things work. Yes, I just understand how things work. That's why astrology is so profound in my life, is because I understand how things work. As soon as I was able to get my method down and I understood how astrology works, it really has been helpful in my life. And I just understood it. And not everybody can. There's people who work forever at this and they get this perspective that is really off base. When for me, it's natural because once I got the dynamics of it, I understood how it works. And I understand how life is. And that's not always a comfortable truth, but I just understand this is how the process is playing out. And having an understanding can be jarring. That's why this is only number 3. It's not number 1 or number 2. A lot of the truths that you have to experience with the sun in the ninth house are hard lessons learned. You learn things the hard way because you learn by experience. You know a lot, but the things you learn, they're usually by experience. But through that, you're able to teach. And so my understanding, my wisdom, my administrative skills help me be an excellent teacher. And that's really helpful in my life. Now, having my son in the ninth house has also mean that I've had a certain amount of luck in my life. But the luck doesn't mean it spared me from consequences or it spared me from situations. It means I was able to get perspective on the situations that made it a lot better than it could have been if I had looked at it in a different light. And I'm somebody who's always searching for the truth of things. And I'm somebody myself who wants to portray the truth. I want to be the truth, but you can't just see the truth. You have to experience it. See, that's the thing with that. Zero Lamb, I appreciate it. I just didn't want to see it. I don't want to hear it because I ain't gonna believe you if you say it to me. I need to experience it. I need to know it. I need to understand it. And see, the sun in the ninth house allows you to do that, but it's from perspective. And I've always been wise beyond my years, even though I can be immature and I'm at heart a big baby. I've always been wise beyond my years. I've always understood things. You know, when I was little, I grew up in the church, and my grandfather was the pastor of the church. And I grew up in two different church atmospheres because on my mother's side, they are white Episcopalian. That means when they go to church, they're there for 45 minutes and it is a routine and a ritual. So you go in, you go through the ritual. They come in with the acolytes. They go in, they speak their creeds that they speak, and they sing two hymns. They go up there, they have communion. The acolytes have a procession out of there, and you leave. Whereas in the Pentecostal church, where my grandfather was the pastor on my black side or my dad's side, this was actually something that was an experience. But in gaining both of those perspectives when I was young, I was able to see the business of religion. And that did make me struggle with my faith. That's why I have Saturn in the second house, but in Sagittarius. But I also was able to understand what true spirituality is over time. And I've had a spiritual awakening in my life. My son is in the ninth house. And I've traveled a lot. And I actually live really far away from my home where I came from. It was an experience. I didn't say it wasn't a great experience or it wasn't. It just depends on the day. Um, Church is beautiful when you are able to understand what's really going on, but religion is a business. I'm not talking about church. I said religion as a whole is a business. It has a specific agenda. It's not spirituality. You can be spiritual and also be religious, but you can be religious without being spiritual. And so that's the thing with that. And so me seeing the business of the church made me want to get in touch with my spirituality because I had to understand something that was beyond that. And I understood it in a way that most people didn't. But also realize having an understanding means that I understand the good that comes from religion also. I understand that some people need that. I understand that that right there is the nourishment in the way that they can accept it. And so something that gives them the promise of growth and the promise of of something beyond this life allows them to live their life in this life from a more healthier standpoint. And some people need that. But for me, I have come to the realization that the purpose of life is to live a purposeful life. You're here to live a life. And so, more than doing something in this life restrictive so that you can get something beyond this life, what you need to do is operate in love in this life. And then that allows you to experience a greater sense of self and a greater sense of well-being and a greater sense of peace when it's time to move beyond this plane. And so for me, the perspective that I've been able to develop has been fundamental for me. And my son in the ninth house is what provides me with that. Part of me. My son being in my ninth house is everything. But yeah, as far as this spiritual journey does go, I've realized that with my son in the ninth house, I've been searching my whole life for something that's inside of me. You understand? It's inside of me. The peace I'm seeking is inside of me. It's not in an external experience. And it's taken almost my whole life to get to that. But that has gave me a sense of peace that is a true blessing. And so the wisdom that I've gained with my son being in the ninth house, the intuition that I have has saved me in a lot of situations. Uh, the positivity that I've been able to establish and experience. has been everything, everything. And so I am blessed. And when I think about Jupiter, I don't want to say I'm lucky. I'm blessed. You know, I don't have to create a blessing. I'm blessed. That comes from perspective. Even when things are hard, it's not turning out how I expected. I'm blessed. Highly favored too. Now hold on. Now, all of that is why the Sun in the ninth house is number 3 in the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the Sun in astrology. Now, let's get to number 2. Numero 2. Now, before I even do that, I need a few more of y'all to hit this motherfucking like button. I need you to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I need you to hit the bell icon so you can be notified when we drop something new. I need you to hit that super sticker, that super thanks, or that super chat and let me know you fuck with me. Or you can just bless that cash app that's pinned right there. I don't know if it's at the top or the bottom of your screen, but it's pinned. And I'm giving you something priceless. So it's just a few bucks. Yeah, just why. Tina Clara Marie, there's no space between Don and Rodrigo in the cash tag. It's There's no space in between there. But anyway, this is also an opportunity that I want to take before we go any further in the list to tell you that my books are still open. I'm offering my numerology readings for the people who are here in these lives at a reduced rate. I'm offering my birth chart readings for a reduced rate. You get a discount if you are in this live. So you just tell them, hey, I saw you in the live, and then I'll send you the modified price list for those people that saw this. My Pluto through Aquarius transit journey readings. This is big because Pluto's going to dip back into Capricorn. So that means it's going to go through the whole spectrum of Aquarius again. And so with the Pluto through Aquarius transit journey readings, what I do is look at Pluto's journey through Aquarius over the next 22 years. And I assess all of the aspects that it's going to make to your personal placements. But not only do I assess the aspects, I give you specific dates and time frames that you're going to be in those aspects. So you'll be able to understand the changes that are happening in your life and in your mind and in your relationships and with the shadow parts of your character. All right. I also do solar return readings where we look at wherever the sun and the moon are placed on your solar return, and we use that as a projection to see how the rest of your year could play out. I do synastry readings. I do numerology readings, and those are short. The numerology readings are only about 30 minutes long, but they are packed with information. I'm going to be able to tell you whether you have karmic debts that you brought into this life. We'll look at your karmic lesson numbers, and I'll be able to see if there's things that you need to work on. And just about everybody has karmic lesson numbers. Not everybody has karmic debts. That's a little more crucial. I do, and some people do, but not everybody. But I've only seen one chart in thousands of numerology charts that I've done that doesn't have any karmic lesson numbers. We'll look at the 4 challenges and the 4 pinnacles. We'll look at the 3 cycles of your life. We'll look at your balance number, your maturity number, your personality number, your soul urge or your heart's desire number, and your life density or expression number, and your life path number. And so, yeah, don't sell yourself short. You need to fuck with me immediately. Now, if you're interested, get at me in my email, which is mr.turner1300 at gmail.com. That's MR period TURNER 1300 at gmail.com. Now, let's get to number 2 in the list of the price list, top 5 best house placements for the sun in astrology. And number 2 is where the sun is in its natural place. And that's the sun in the 5th house. First of all, these are playful and creative creatures. They're engaging and entertaining and fun, and they're fertile. Their inner child is healthy and strong. They have a certain presence to them that makes them quite popular and maybe even famous. There could be some fame that comes with the sun in the 5th house, whether it be locally or more universal. But there's a certain amount of fame that comes with that. There's a certain amount of attention that comes with that. And they need that attention. They need that recognition. It's not just achievement like the sun in the 10th house. No, they need to be loved. And with the sun in the 5th house, these are people who are willing to take risks. And they also are looking to enjoy themselves. And a lot of them make great performers. A lot of them are extremely funny. A lot of them just have an energy to them that just like, man, it's extra, but you can't look away. You can't look away. Even in Capricorn, they have a certain dryness to them. There's a certain dry sense of humor. There's a certain sauce that they have. There's a certain swag. I know they don't use that word anymore, but I love that word. There's a certain swag that they got with the sun in the 5th house. Now, the sign is going to show you what type of swag that they got, but they definitely have swag. They definitely have charisma, or riz, as these kids today say. They're definitely creative. They're definitely fun. They definitely are in touch with their inner child. And a lot of them have good relationships with children because children can sense that. Now, my moon is in the 5th house. And so it's a little different. It affects me closely to that, but not the exact same. What's up, Destination Obsession? But yeah, having the sun in the 5th house, it gives a person a whole bunch of charisma. It makes their personality even more um, not exaggerated, but it makes it a focal point of what they are. And they just have something about them that makes people want to be a part of their experience, or makes people want to have them as a part of their experience. And whether it's because they're fun, or their presence, or whether it be because they make you feel good or they make you laugh, having the sun in the 5th house is fucking awesome. And then when I say they're creative, I'm also meaning in that fertile aspect. Their imaginations are fertile, their bodies are fertile, and they're able to bring things into existence that other people might not, because they have the confidence and the wherewithal to do so. And you could be having a bad time and they can brighten up your day. And it doesn't mean that they even have to do anything to you or with you. It's just because they're cool like that. They got it like that. All right. Hold on. I gotta light this incense real fast. Give me 1 second. But yeah, anyway, the sun in the 5th house is awesome. And they think they're awesome too. And like I said, there's a certain amount of recognition and fame and popularity that comes with the sun in the 5th house. Um, but more than anything else, it's the fun, the fact that they enjoy life, and they help other people enjoy their lives. They have enriching experiences. but they do need a lot of attention. They can be extra. They can pander, and so that's why they're only number 2 on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun. Now, that brings us to number 1. And number 1 for the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun in astrology. This is the sun in the first house. And look, as infectious, well, not even that, look, as cliche as it sounds, there's a light shining in those people with their sun in the first house that is infectious. And they have an authenticity that's refreshing. They are who they are. There's no pretense. What you see is what you get with them. Plain and simple. They're real. And they don't hide who they are, and they don't expect you to, to accept them. And they don't need you to accept them because they are who they are, whether you accept it or not. And the sun is in that exaltation mode in the first house. See, the sun is exalted in Aries. And so in that first house, it does great. It does great. That's somebody who's genuine. And us as people need that, and we appreciate it. And there's an honesty to them that is much needed. These are the people who actually do live unapologetically. And at the same time, it's not a bad thing. I know sometimes it's in Capricorn or Aquarius, or they're wrapped up in other people, or they're wrapped up in respect, but there's still something about them that you have to respect. There really is. And they're not afraid to show themselves unapologetically. And that's everything. Hey, you talking to me? He's not gonna go without the thing. He's not gonna go out the door unless you go get him. He's a good dog. He will not go out that door without his leash on him. It's my baby. He's a good boy. Yeah, I appreciate the love, Sharon Little. But yeah, all of that is the sun in the first house. We need to go back over it. I'm being rushed. We got some things we got to go do. So we only got like 15 more minutes, and then I got to go. 20 more minutes at the most, and I got to do it. But looking back over these, the only honorable mention that we have in our list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun, this is the sun in the 10th house, because they're achievement-oriented individuals. They're about something in life, and not everybody is. They're about something. They have goals, and they get a lot of recognition. A lot of people know who they are. That doesn't mean a lot of people are close to them, but a lot of people know who they are because they can see that these are somebody who is about something. But a mission like that, an ambition like that, doesn't come easily, and that's why they're the only honorable mention. They can have a hard life because they're always striving, and they're always pushing the envelope, and they want to do more and more and more. And so that is very great, but at the same time, it can be quite difficult in its own respect. Now, number 5 on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 most difficult house placements of the sun. No, not most difficult, best house placements. I don't know why I said most difficult. Of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun. Pardon me. This is the sun in the 3rd house because they're the type of people who just get it. And they're clever and they're intelligent and they naturally pick up on things, and they got off to a fast start in life, and they see competency as a matter of existence, not of experience, of existence. And they expect to be naturally good at stuff, and a lot of the times they are, and they learn things very easily. Yeah, I'll do moon placements next time. And so all of that's why the sun in the 3rd house is number 5. Now, number 4 on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun. This is the sun in the 2nd house because that's self-esteem. It's a solid pattern of habits, and it's valuables and understanding value and having values. And they're the type of people who are trying to accumulate as much as possible without ever sacrificing their baseline security. And a lot of them understand how money works in a way that some of us don't, because we didn't learn it naturally. It's not something that we naturally got. And some of them have money. Some of them have money. Not all of them, but some of them have money, or they understand how to get money easily. All right. So yeah. And then number 4 on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun. This is the sun in the 2nd house because that's self-esteem, and that's a solid pattern of habits. I just said that right. I said sun in the 2nd. Let's go to number 3. I just said that. See, I'll get thrown off because she rushed me. Number 3. Number 3 on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun. That is mine, the sun in the 9th house. That's intuition, that's wisdom, um, that's spirituality and positivity. It's the realization that everything is a learning experience, and Jupiter's influence there makes you feel blessed about everything that you're experiencing and everything that you've gone through in life. And so that's very helpful. I appreciate the Cash App love, sharing little. And hey, the gift of understanding is a gift. Sometimes it's crucial, but the gift of understanding is a beautiful gift. To be able to understand why things are happening to you the way that they're happening to you, and to understand how things work, it really allows you to take a step back and see things from the big picture in the way that only the 9th house sun can, and see how the situation is bigger than your immediate wants, and see how the situation is better and bigger than the expectations that you had of it. Understand that those expectations that you have are actually limiting you. All of that is why the sun in the 9th house is number 3. Now, ooh, number two, number 2 on the list of the PrIcElEs top. Sorry, my sword right here for my push-ups. Anyway, number 2 on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun. That is the sun in the 5th house, because the sun is at home in the 5th house. So that makes people playful and creative, They're engaging, they're entertaining, they're fun, they have an excellent sense of humor. Now, the sun in the third house does too. They have a great sense of humor too. They're clever and they tell jokes, but the sun in the fifth house laughs at everything. They can laugh. And they can look at situations and really laugh. And they have a presence to them that makes them quite popular, maybe even famous. Um, and they command attention, and they deserve it. And all of that is why they're number 2 due on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun in astrology. Now, number one on the list of the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun in astrology, it's sun in the first house, because there's just an authenticity to those people that's refreshing. They're real. They don't get caught up in pretense. And so things are not that complicated for them because they're honest and they're genuine. And what you see is what you get. And as I said earlier, as cliche as it sounds, there's a light that shines in those people that is infectious. So all of that's number 1. I said all of these already. I recapped reflection. You're not having deja vu, bro. I recapped and went over them. So that's the PrIcElEs top 5 best house placements for the sun in astrology. Yeah. There's no pandering that goes on with this sun in the first house. Even if it's in Leo, there's no pandering. They get their shine on. They just got a lot of charisma. They're just cool like that. They just got it like that. So yeah. Come here, baby. Come here, Chief. But yeah, it's a great placement. We got about 10 more minutes. So does anybody have anything they need to get out of their system before we go? I wish I could have stayed longer, but I came last night and then I came again today and still brought y'all top 5. I still came 4 times this week. So we'll be back next week. Probably not Monday because I have a meeting with Watkins Cat House on Monday. I don't know. I might have to come Monday. We'll have to see if we can dance around her meeting and I can come sometime that day and just talk to y'all with my hair did. We'll see what happens, but I can't guarantee it. I'll definitely be here next week. I just don't know what day. Speak now or forever hold your peace. Hit that fucking Cash App or don't never hit it. Hit the super sticker, the super thanks, or the super chat. I got 10 minutes and then I'm done. Mom, we're going to take our kids out to eat some pizza. Send me the email immediately. I need it. My prices are reduced right now. We need the business. Shoot it right now. I got people asking to borrow money. Maybe he got hacked. Let me see. Maybe my brother-in-law was hacked, man. see. Yeah. So it looks like my brother-in-law was hacked. Thoughts on Sun in the seventh? I mean, it's cool for your relationships. You're a relationship-oriented person, but it's hard because your life is so wrapped up in other people. It's not like your friends, like the Sun in the 11th house. The Sun in the 11th house is very similar, but the Sun in the seventh house is like you're so caught up in pleasing another person, and you're so caught up in your relationships that a lot of the times it's hard for you to have an honest expression of your energy because you're just doing a lot of pleasing or pandering. Yeah, my heart was telling me no. I'm so glad that I waited and I didn't do it. But yeah, his profile is shut down now, so he's obviously blocked. The Sun in the seventh house is great for relationships, but for you personally, it can be tough because you're so much into your relationships. Well, real quick, numerology on the day of birth, the 16th. Well, that means that's a seven there, but you have a karmic debt 16. And so when you have that karmic debt 16, your relationships suffer. It means that you have an abuse of love in your past or in your past lifetimes that you're having to atone for in this lifetime. And so that means all of your relationships are karmic. It means that you face a lot of bullshit, sometimes infidelity and abuse, and it's because you was fucking up in previous lifetimes, whether you were disloyal or unfaithful or you failed to consider somebody else's feelings. And so that's an abuse of love. And so you're having to atone for that. What you need to do is get the whole numerology reading. And that's one of my cheaper services, and it's the quickest one. Boom. Send me an email and we'll look at it. But yeah, I would say you have a karmic debt 16 with that. That's an abuse of love in the past or in your past lifetimes. But that's why your relationships are so hard in this life, and you're having to learn how to love the right way. But that's hard because with that seven, you're also you isolate yourself, and you're also on your own spiritual journey, and you also um, have a problem opening up to people. So yeah, I know a lot about you. You said I just know I'm me. I'm a professional. So yeah, we got 5 minutes. I appreciate everybody's love and support. I appreciate y'all for tuning in today. This has been an awesome session. And so I look forward to coming back again as soon as possible. If any of y'all are interested in any of my readings, whether it be the numerology reading, which Tinkerbell, you need to be hitting me up immediately for a numerology reading, whether it be an astrology reading or a combination of both, and I'll offer you a package deal for both of them. You need to get at me. And you don't have to just get an audio recording. You can get on the phone with me like Watkins Cat House prefers to, or you can even have a Zoom session where we're face to face on video and I'm buck naked. No, I'm just playing. Or am I? But not for real. Get at me. whether it be for a birth chart reading, whether it be for a transit reading, whether it be for a Pluto through Aquarius transit journey reading, whether it be for a solar return reading or a synastry reading or a numerology reading, you need to get at me immediately. Yeah. There are 4 karmic debt numbers: 13, 14, 16, and 19, with 19 being the highest karmic debt you can incur. And I have 19. Reflection, I'm the astrology plug. You my Z, though. You my family. For real. Might have to change myself to DonRodrigo with the astrology plug. For real. Read your fix. I ain't gonna lie, I wanted to stay longer, but she's an Aries rising and she's a Capricorn, so she's controlling and she's in a rush. She's trying to rush me. She's trying to rush me. She's trying to run me. But I run me. I run this. So yeah, that's crazy. You love that Cap energy because you love to snitch. You fucking snitch. Unless you fucking you a hater and you like to tell it. You like you ready to go tell something right now. Sci-fi fantasy girl, answer the email. Answer the freaking email. Fuck that. So yeah, we about to go in 30 seconds. It could be, but it's not because you attract Aries. It's because you're attracted to Aries. It's not because you're attracting them. It's because you're attracted to them. And they're easy because that's my favorite flavor. Aries is my favorite flavor. I like it spicy. My honey is a Aries rising to the fullest. So yeah, hey, I love y'all. I'll see you again soon.